Good day everyone, I am Reina Furizaldo, Group 18. For today's video, I'm going to report the educational legislators. So, first we're going to know what is educational legislators. So, educational legislators is a set of rules and regulations that guide the working of an educational system. So, in my own understanding about educational legislators is they are the one who create a law in schools to maintain the system of education. So the 1987 Constitutions, Article 14, Section 1 to 5. So in Section 1, the state shall protect and promote the right of all citizens to quality education of all levels and shall take appropriate steps to make such education accessible to all. In Section 2, the state shall first establish, maintain, and support a complete, adequate, and integrated system of education relevant to the needs of the people and society. And number 2, the state shall establish and maintain system of free public education in the elementary and high school levels without limiting the natural rights of parents to rear with their children. Elementary education is compulsory for all children of school age. So, the state shall establish and maintain a system of scholarship grants, student loan programs, subsidies, and other incentives which shall be available to deserving students in both public and private school, especially to underprivileged. And 4, the state shall encourage non-formal, informal, and indigenous learning system, as well as self-learning, independent, and out-of-school study programs, particularly those that respond to community needs. And last, the state shall provide adult citizens, the disabled, and out-of-school youth with training in civic, vocational efficiency, and skills. So, Section 5, the state shall take into account regional and sectoral needs and conditions and shall encourage local planning in the development of educational policies and programs. So, dapat daw ang state dapat nag-take sila into account traditional and sectoral na needs and mga conditions, and ina-encourage nila local planning para sa mga kalambuan sa educational policies and programs. So, number 2, academic freedom shall be enjoyed in all institutions of higher learning. So, ang academic freedom dapat daw ina-enjoy sa lahat ng institution ng higher learning. When we say higher learning, it is about the higher learning. Next is, every citizen has a right to select a profession or course of study subject to fair, reasonable, and equitable admission and academic requirements. So, every citizen had a right para to select a profession or course, diba? And subject to fair, reasonable, and adequate admission and academic requirements. So, and the number 4 is it shall enhance the right of teacher to professional advances. Non-teaching academic and non-academic personnel shall enjoy the protection of the states. So, it's understandable na. I think no need to explain, but I will explain. It's okay. So, ang state daw, dapat nina-enhance nila ang right sa teachers to professional advancement. So, ang batong mga non-teaching academic o non-academic personnel, dapat na-enjoy nila ang protection of the states. And then the state shall assign the highest budgetary priority to education and ensure that teaching will attract and retain its rightful share of the best available talents through adequate remuneration and other means of job satisfaction and fulfillment. So,
Good morning, everyone. I'm Anna Raman. I am the second reporter of Educational Legislator. Batas Pambansa Bilang 232 or the Education Act of 1982. This was an act providing for the establishment and maintenance of an integrated system of education. In accordance with Section 2, this act shall apply to and govern both formal and non-formal system in public and private schools and all levels of the entire educational system. As provided by this act, the national development goals are as follows: to achieve and maintain an accelerating rate of economic development and social progress, to assure the maximum participation of all the people in the attainment and enjoyment of the benefits of such growth, and to achieve and strengthen national unity and consciousness and preserve, develop and promote desirable cultural, moral and spiritual values in changing world. It is also stated in Section 3 that the state shall promote the right of every individual to relevant quality education, regardless of sex, age, creed, socioeconomic status, physical and mental conditions, racial or ethnic origin, political or other affiliation. The state shall therefore promote and maintain equality of access to education as well as the benefits of education by all its citizens. Rights of students in schools, Section 9. The right to receive competent instructions, relevant quality education. The right to freely choose their field of studies subject to the existing curricular and continue their course up to graduation, except in case of academic deficiency or violation of disciplinary regulation. The right to school guidance and counseling services. The right to access to his own school's records and the confidentiality of it. The right to issuance of official certificates, diplomas, transcript of records, grades, transfer credentials, and similar documents within 30 days from request. The right to publish a student newspaper and invite resource persons during symposia, assemblies, and other activities. The right to free expression of opinions and suggestions and to effective channels of communication with appropriate academic and administrative bodies of the school or institutions. The right to form or establish, join, and participate in organizations and societies recognized by the school, or to form, join, and maintain organizations and societies for purposes not contrary to law. The right to be free and voluntary contribution except those approved by the organizations and societies. Right of all school personnel, Section 10. Free expression of opinions and suggestions. To be provided with free legal service by the appropriate government office in case of public school personnel and the school authorities concerned in case of private school personnel, when charged in administrative, civil, and/or criminal proceedings by parties other than the school authorities concerned for actions committed directly in the lawful discharge of professional duties and/or in defense of school policies. Establish, join, maintain labor organization of their choice to promote their welfare and defend their interests. To be free from involuntary contribution except those imposed by their own organization. Special rights and/or privilege of teaching or academic staff in Section 11. Right to be free compulsory assignment not related to their duties defined in their appointment or employment contracts unless compensated thereof. Educational compensation, Section 14 Republic Act 4,670, at least 25% his regular remuneration. Right to intellectual property. Teachers are persons in authority when in lawful discharge of duties and responsibilities, shall therefore be recorded due respect and protection. Commonwealth Act Number 578. Teachers are be given opportunity to choose career alternatives for advancement. Rights of Administrators, Section 12. School administrators shall be deemed person and authority while in the lawful discharge of their duties and responsibilities, shall be recorded due respect and protection by Commonwealth Act Number 578. So, next.
Rights of Schools, Section 13. The right of their governing boards to adopt and enforce administrative or management systems. The right of institutions of higher learning to determine on academic grounds who shall be admitted to study, who may teach, and who shall be the subjects of the study and the research. Maintenance of quality education. Voluntary accreditation, Section 29. Teachers and administrators' obligations and qualifications, Sections 176 and 17. Government financial assistance to private schools, Section 41. Other legal bases. Number 1, Act Number 74. This law was enacted on January 21, 1901 by the Philippine Commission and provided a. Establishment of the Department of Public Instruction headed by the General Superintendent. B. The archipelago was divided into school divisions and districts for effective management of the school system. English was made as medium of instruction in all levels of schooling. D. Optional religious instructions in schools, Section 16. Establishment of a trade school in Manila, Philippine College of Arts and Trade, or PCAT, now known as Technological University of the Philippines. A school, agriculture in Negros, a normal school in Manila, Philippine Normal School, Section 18. Philippine Normal School, however, was renamed Philippine Normal College, or PNC, by virtue of Republic Act Number 416 on June 18, 1949. And on December 26, 1991, the PNC was converted to Philippine Normal University as provided by Republic Act Number 7168. Number 2. Act Number 2706. This was known as the Private School Law, enacted on March 10, 1917 by the Philippine Legislature, which made obligatory the recognition and inspection of private schools and colleges by the Secretary of Public Instruction so as to maintain a standard of efficiency in all private schools and colleges in the country. This law was amended by Commonwealth Act Number 180 passed on November 13, 1936, which provided that the Secretary of Public Instruction was vested with power to supervise, inspect, and regulate said schools and colleges in order to determine the efficiency of instruction given in the same. And all private schools come under the supervision and regulation of the Secretary of DPI, thus eliminating diploma mills and substandard schools. Commonwealth Act Number 1, amended by RA 9163. known as the National Defense Act, passed by the Philippine Assembly on December 21, 1935, which provided in Section 81 that preparatory military training shall be given with the youth in the elementary grade school at the age of 10 years and shall extend through the remainder of his schooling into college or post-secondary education. By virtue of Presidential Decree 1706 issued by the late President Marcos on August 8, 1980, otherwise known as the National Service Law, Commonwealth Act No. 1 was amended and required all citizens to render civic welfare service, law enforcement service, and military service. Number 4. Commonwealth Act Number 80. This law created the Office of Adult Education on October 26, 1936, so as to eliminate literacy and to give vocational and citizenship training to adult citizens of the country. 5. Commonwealth Act Number 578, enacted on June 8, 1940, conferred the status of persons in authority upon the teachers, professors, and persons charged with the supervision of public or duly recognized private schools, colleges, and universities. This act also provided a penalty of imprisonment ranging from 6 months and 1 day to 6 years, and a fine ranging from 500 to 1,000 pesos upon any person found guilty of assault upon those teaching personnel. Commonwealth Act No. 586, repealed by R.A. 896. This is known as Education Act of 1940. It was approved on August 7, 1940 by the Philippine Assembly. The law provided for the following: A. Reduction of 7-year elementary course to 6-year elementary course. B. Fixing the school entrance age to 7. C. National support of elementary education. D. Compulsory attendance in the primary grades for all children who enroll in grade 1. Then lastly, introduction of double single session, one class in the morning and another in the afternoon under one teacher to accommodate more children. 7. Common
Good day everyone, my name is Grace Reyes. Today I will discuss my assigned topic. So number 7 is Commonwealth Act number 589. This law approved on August 19, 1940 established a school ritual in all public and private elementary and secondary school in the Philippines. The ritual consists of solemn and patriotic ceremony that include the singing of national anthem and patriotic pledges. So, for example, here in the Philippines, our national anthem is Lupang Hinirang, and in patriotic pledges is the Panatang Makabayan. So, next is number 8, the Republic Act number 139, repealed by RA 8047, enacted on June 14, 1947, and the Board of Textbook. This law provided that all public schools must only use books that are approved by the board of a period of 6 years from the date of their adoption. The private school may use books on their choice and provided the Board of Textbook has no objection with those books. Number 9, Republic Act number 896, enacted on June 20, 1953, and known as the Elementary Education Act of 1953. It repealed in Commonwealth Act 586 and provided for the following: A. Restoration of grade 7 but never implemented due to lack of funds. Abolition of double single session and return to the former practice of only one. C is class under one teacher in the primary and three teacher to two classes, or five teachers to three classes in the intermediate level. D. Compulsory completion of the elementary grades. E is compulsory enrollment of children in the public school upon attaining 7 years of age. Number 10. Republic Act Number 1124, repealed by RA 7722, approved on June 16, 1954. This law created the Board of National Education, charged with the duty of formulating and general educational policies and directing the educational interests of the region. However, this board, which was later renamed National Board of Education PD number 1, was abolished by virtue of the creation of the Board Higher Education as stipulated in Batas Pambansa 232. The board function is now assumed by the Commission on Higher Education, or chaired by virtue of Republic Act 7722. Then, Number 11, Republic Act Number 1265, amended by RA 8491. This law was approved on June 11, 1955, and provided that a daily flag ceremony shall be compulsory in all educational institutions. This includes the singing of Philippine National Anthem. Republic Act Number 1425. It was approved on June 12, 1956. It prescribed the inclusion in the curricula of school, both public and private, from elementary school to the university, the life works and writing of Jose Rizal, especially the Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo. 13. Republic Act Number 4670, known as the Magna Carta for the Public School Teacher. This was approved on June 18, 1966, to promote and improve the social and economic status of public school teacher, their living and working condition, their employment and career prospect. It also provided the following: recruitment of qualification for teachers, code of professional conduct for teacher, teaching hours, 6 hours of classroom teaching maximum load, additional compensation, 25% of the regular remuneration, health and injury benefits through the GSIS, 1 year study leave, sabbatical leave. After 7 years of continuous teaching, the teacher should receive 60% of the monthly salary. 1 range salary increase upon retirement, basis computing the retirement fee. Freedom to form organization. Next is Republic Act Number 1079, approved on June 15, 1959. It provides that the civil service eligibility shall be permanent and shall have no limit. 15. Republic Act Number 6655, known as the Free Public Secondary Education Act of 1988. It was approved on May 26, 1988, and provided for a free public secondary education to all qualification citizens and promote quality education at all levels. B. No tuition or other fees shall be collected except fees related to membership in the school community, such as ID, student organization, and publication. C is non-payment of this shall not hinder a student from enrollment or graduation. D is nationalization of all public secondary school, Section 7. E is a student who fails in majority of his academic subject for 2 consecutive years could no longer avail their program.